not nearly as crowded as I thought it would be, it being a holiday. Only 2 other boats putting in this morning, but my boat cranked, which is good. It's crazy, you know, everything's relative, right? I mean, I get to fish literally every single day guiding, you know, or 4 days a week, whatever it is. And so I've been off now for probably a week and a half. It might even be longer than that. I don't even remember the last time I was on this lake, like I said. And that might be 2.5 weeks or something, which to me sounds like an eternity, but to most people, like, you get to go fishing every 2.5 weeks, that's a blessing. So it's crazy. Like, I was like, my batteries are probably dead, nothing's probably working, but letting the motor warm up. It's a beautiful morning, it's calm. Still have absolutely no idea where we're gonna go, but you guys probably recognize this place. You know what's crazy is literally I can stand on this dock right here and I could see the campsite where I used to camp with my dad, my brother. And you know, when it comes down to it, if it weren't for this campsite right here, or this campground I should say, I probably never really would have been fishing on Lake Okeechobee, really, ever. We used to come up here and camp on Torrey Island, and that's kind of what introduced me to fishing. And it was crazy. I used to sit, we'd either camp in the lagoon little deal here, or we'd camp on the Rim Canal. And every morning, this was obviously in the winter when it was nice out, and we'd usually tent it, or we had campers and what have you, but I can remember at this time every morning waking up freezing. The fire would be out. I'm in like my whitey tighties sitting on the edge of that canal, just watching bass boats rip up and down, thinking one day I'll be able to do that. And now here I am, sleepy, like on nose, like, I gotta go to work. So I always try to remember that. Like, I get to literally fish on this lake, and when I was 8, I'd wake up at this time, just, I mean, we'd go fishing, but just to sit there and like watch the bass boats go up and down, it's crazy. Pretty cool. So I try not to ever take it for granted. This is this boat needs, this is embarrassing. There is crap. I don't even know what happened. I think I had like a trash bag, like a Winn-Dixie bag full of water bottles that blew open. There's a sock, and you guys know me, I never wear socks. I don't know what that is. There's spinner baits, there's like 3 pairs of scissors. This is kind of embarrassing, but it's just me today. I don't have a customer, so I'm not telling the captain to clean the boat. I'm just along for the ride. I still have, like I said, I have no idea where we're going. I have no idea what the game plan is. I've got all my rods. We're just gonna, I don't even have my headphones to listen to music on the way out. I don't know where we're going, what we're gonna do, but I'll figure it out and I'll see you guys. I've seen like 1 boat out here in my entire life, and this morning there's 3. One of them might be Kelly. I'm not sure. I texted him, I said, are you fishing today? And he is. He's been out of town, but he got home. He said he was gonna fish this morning, but I wasn't sure if he was gonna go. So it might be him down there, I'm not sure, but there's kind of a stretch here that I like to fish this time of year. I haven't checked it yet this year, but apparently I'm late to the party because there's 3 boats, but the 100 yards that I like to fish, there's no one on, so we'll give it a shot. Okay, we got a nice sunrise coming up here. We've got our cameras rolling, trolling motors in the water. We've got perfect watercolor to start out here. The water is relatively dirty, but I like that. This is one of the very few times in fishing Lake Okeechobee where I prefer to have dirtier water than cleaner water, and that's when I'm fishing any kind of shad spawn kind of deal in the grass, because that typically means I'm throwing a white swim jig. Like, this is my Dirty Jigs No Jack 1/2 ounce swim jig. I've got a Gambler Little Easy and a translucent, that Ghost Shad color on there. And a couple reasons why I want the water somewhat dirty is the main reason is most of the time, if you find clean water on this lake, the shad aren't going to be in that water. Okay. They're usually in this off-colored, dirtier water. And that's simply because they get blown around with the wind mainly. And so if the wind blows and turns up the water, the shad are blown in there with them. But also, if I'm throwing a white or, a shad pattern bait, if the water's too clean, it just stands out too much and they get too good of a look at it. And I just never have great success. So out, where I'm fishing right now, or just anywhere I'm fishing on the outside edge of the lake this time of year, when I'm throwing a white swim jig, a white spinner bait, anything white, shad spawn deal, I like that water to be a little bit off colored. So this is perfect. Now, right off the bat here, there's two boats in front of me. They're idling, talking to each other, which means it's probably slow. They're not catching them. And I don't hear the fish. Okay, a lot of times with the shad spawn, everyone says, I don't know if I'm in a good... You'll know. All right, you'll hear them blowing up. You'll see the shad going nuts. I mean, it's pretty evident if they're there. And right off the bat right now, I don't know if they're here. I've got another area about a half mile from here we'll probably go to, and I was catching fish there before my little hiatus, but I wanted to check this, and it looks good. The wind's blowing perfect, but I don't hear any shad, see any shad, and I'm not hearing any blow-ups. But it's only about a 100-yard stretch, so I guess we're gonna fish it, and if we don't get bit, then we'll move. Here, and there's like, well, a bunch of boats just left, and that's probably because they're not catching shit, because I haven't had a bite or heard a blow up or nothing. But where are you at? I got one now. Good one too. Oh yeah. See? 4-pounder. Oh. It never fails if I'm on the phone with Kelly, I catch one. That is a lanky, shad-eating, smelly, you can see crapped all in my boat. But that's a good one. 4-pounder. Well, we caught one good one. I mean, I could really throw a rattle trap out here, drag a worm on some of this shell, but I don't know. I'm not seeing the activity I'd like to see. So I think we're gonna make a little move, a little jaunt, see what happens. Just laid down in this this next spot, and first thing I notice is this water is really green, like a pea soup green. And what happens is, we get algae blooms all throughout the summer here, but the rain will come, cool the water down, and then it'll gradually rise back up in temperature. We get an algae bloom, and you'll get a big blow, and it'll get turbulent, and it'll push all that algae like down into the water column and essentially just make the water like a thicker green color. I don't like fishing it, but I think it's a mental thing because I see people that do fish it and they catch 30 pounds, so I'm not sure. But I just put the white swim jig in the water, and it's not as green as I thought it was. It's green, but it's not horrible. So we're just gonna start flipping, give it the old college try, pull the old flip stick out. A lot of times in this dingier water, I do like flipping a jig, especially this time of year. It's a bigger target. I feel like it's easier for the fish to find, and I just like catching them on a jig. But we're gonna start with just the old plastic here, and that's kind of gonna probably be the only way we really fish this area is flipping. Might throw a trap if there's some boat cuts or something, but we'll see. You guys might be able to see, I don't know how my camera's angled, but you can see I got that white trolling motor head, and it disappears kind of quick. I mean, it's dirty, it's funky looking water, But we'll see. If we don't get bit, well, then we'll make a move. Give it a try. I'm out here pretty much on the main lake grass line and the water's this green. If I go further back, the water might possibly clean up, but I'm going to give this an honest try because, like I said, it might just be a mental deal. You know, the green water probably doesn't really matter. Same thing happens with what I call the red water. When we get a lot of rain, they'll dump a lot of water into the lake, and it's coming from, you know, all the surrounding canals or what have you, where the water's real stagnant, and it'll almost look like cherry juice. It'll just be a deep tannic, very red. It's almost really hard to dictate that it's red. It looks like really tannic and really clear, but I've got this white trolling motor, and I look down at it, and the glow off the trolling motor is ruby red. I don't like fishing in that, and I know people that don't mind it at all and catch big fish in it. So a lot of it's mental, I feel like, but if you don't have confidence in what you're doing, you're wasting your time. This isn't as bad as I thought, so we're just going to work around till we find them. Ooh, that was the ugliest flip ever. Probably catch an 8-pounder right now. One thing I'm noticing, I don't know if you guys can see all the bugs, the chizzywinks flying around me. There are loads of them, which is what you want to look for, but I'm not hearing the brim eating them. I'm not hearing any popping, you know, any bluegill kissing the surface of the water, which when I'm fishing like this time of year, that's the main thing I want to look for. And I'm just not hearing them. Now, the further back I get, maybe I'll hear them. But I'm going to fish pretty quick until I start hearing those bluegill. Oh. I think that was a bite. He felt like he hit it on the way down. Ripped my bait. Definitely starting to hear the bluegill. I don't know if you guys can hear them on the camera back here. Seems like they've just pushed back just a little bit from where I left them last time. Oh, you son of a bitch. That right there is why I hate an 8 3-to-1 reel that I'm flipping right now. I keep saying I'm going to get the power handle just to make up for it, but that's, you guys saw it right there. I flipped in there, and that one, I mean, that was no doubt, that was a big one when I lifted. I mean, it was just weight. And when I stuck, the fish came at me, and under high pressure, and the rods, you can't turn the handle. What you gain in speed, you lose in torque. I say it all the time. And that right there is why I like that 7-to-1. That's that happy medium where you get the speed, where you could bring the bait in efficiently, but you could still, under high pressure, high intensity, like, you could turn the handle and move the fish towards you. I mean, I couldn't literally turn the handle, and then the fish just zipped at me, and by then I'm so out of whack, he just ran and wrapped me in the reeds, and that was the end of it. I don't know how big it was, but that was not a little. I mean, as soon as I lifted, I knew it was a big one, and then I stuck it and couldn't move her. And Dang it. How many fish am I gonna lose? I landed a bass. Good God. I'm proud of him. This is gonna come off arrogant because I don't want it to, because I don't mean it this way at all. The keyboard warriors won't hear it like that. They're gonna hear it like I'm being an ass, but I like don't lose fish. I mean, obviously I do, but you know, I might not be able to find them like everyone else or as good as everyone else, but like I typically just don't lose a lot of fish, especially flipping. F football. God. Healthy fish. Look how pretty that fish is. We gotta get those balloons out. Look at that. Good one. I knew I felt her thump it on the way in. That's what we're fishing for right there. Oh, nice. She is just spawned out. That's a grown one. That's awesome. I thought I felt a tick when I dropped it in, and I guess I did. Oh, that felt good. Oh, that was awesome. Beautiful fish. Just so drawn out and whew. That was awesome. That's how quick it happens out here. Just like that. That was awesome. I mean, I flipped in there and I thought I saw my line jump, but I said I'm not going to rush it. I reeled down, lifted, and it was heavy, and I just kind of changed my hook setup a little bit because I missed a bunch this morning, and that fish wasn't coming off in 5 years. I mean, she was hooked perfect. That Hack Attack hook is badass. I am not sponsored, affiliated with Strike King whatsoever, but some people hate on that hook, and I think some people say it's because you can't snell it, but I don't snell my hooks. And I just really don't lose them with that. But it was awesome. You know, that's what's cool about having, like I said, I keep raving about those carbon fiber grips on these rods I'm fishing, and just the rod in general. I mean, I felt that tick on the way down, so there was no surprise. Like, there's probably a fish on there, but that doesn't mean you want to rush the hook set. You saw it was calm, reeled down, checked them, pulled tight. And then here's a big tip I can give you guys when it comes to flipping reeds like this. And my buddy Matt Weeda kind of told me this years ago, and he's so right. When you hook a big fish in the reeds, your adrenaline's pumping, right? Like, you're pulling almost harder than you think you are. And when they get wrapped up like that and they're pinned and they're stuck, if they don't come out on their own on that initial pull, don't reel down and try to pull harder, because something's going to give, and these reeds are a lot stronger than their mouth. So when you're flipping a 7.6, a 7.11 heavy action rod, 65-pound braid, your adrenaline's pumping, you know you got a big one, you're pulling pretty hard. And if they don't cut their way out, you got to just do like I did. Just keep the line tight, don't do anything stupid, just roll in there and get her. I see people, and it used to be me. That's what Matt told me. We're fishing tournaments again. I'd reel down and just try to really pull, and he's like, dude, you're just ripping their mouth open. Stupid stuff's gonna happen. But that was awesome. I made up for losing that one big one. That fish was so skinny and drawn out, but that was a giant. Definitely around them. We're gonna keep plucking around, see if we can't catch another 4 or 5 that look like that. Let's see.
Best angler ever. There was so many of them that taught me things along the way too. Some more here today. Great experience. When we were in the center of the spotlight for these tournaments, that's when the started. Because basically you catch the shark with a big hammerhead, and you have to get a photo with a measurement.
We got a bass.
Tip of the nose.
Clean little fish.
And you'd also have these tournaments where we had experience fishing buddies who at the time were just like, they were just there for fun. Yeah, they were no help in any way, shape, or form. Great for morale and great for laughs. Yeah, great for helping carry, crap to the beach and back. Right. Not helpful at all as far as like what to do. I mean, it was literally just me. Yeah. And there's 2 stories I'll tell you. One was we were way down here.
That was a crazy night.
It was the trip we've done. Yeah. And
Ate it while I was reeling it out. I thought that was a giant.
we had a buddy of ours, his family had a
Neat little fish.
Yeah. And we basically
looking around these brim beds. So this is well, I think that's gonna do it. It is hot and I am ready to go in, and at the end of the day the bite has just gotten super tough because it's noon, the sun is high, the air temp is in the low 90s, and I'm sure the water temp is not far from that. And that's just typical Okeechobee summertime fishing. It was a grind, but at the end of the day, it was it was good. I mean, if you look at it, there were probably 10 bites I had that I just pulled off. One of them was between 7 and 8 pounds. So, I mean, you put that fish in the boat, with the 7, whatever it was that I caught, you're at 14 and a half, 15 pounds. I caught a 4, so now you're at 19, and a couple 3. I mean, I should have had low to mid 20s in a bag, and I could have had close to 20 fish today. I mean, I'm acting like it was just absolutely terrible, but there's really nothing wrong with that. That's a good morning of fishing. And here's the deal: I stayed out here like 6 hours, where in all reality, I knew I should have probably called it at 4. And you catch 20-something fish in 4 hours and have a couple big ones, or at least a chance at a big one is all you can hope for. That's pretty dang good. So, if any of you looking to book a trip, really the bite is going to be the same between now and like mid to end of September. All right, I get a lot of people that are like, hey, I saw you caught them last month. What's this month like? The bite on Okeechobee doesn't change. Like, June through September is the exact same thing. It's just there's going to be slow days and great days, but there's nothing that's going to differentiate that. Like, it's going to be condition based. It's going to be, is it blowing 30 that day or is it blowing 3? That's going to determine if the bite's going to be good and what's going to be fishable. But we can go out and have a day like this. You have a chance to have a day like this anytime between that. Well, really just any time. That's what makes Lake Okeechobee special. I mean, You could catch fish out here 365 and catch big ones and numbers. Every day is just a little different, and it's just a learning experience. But I had fun. It was great. Appreciate you guys watching. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I never ask for that, but I'm just trying to get my YouTube channel up a little bit more. Helps out a lot, I guess. They say it helps the algorithm or something. I don't know. I'm okay at fishing, and I'm terrible at being tech and being a videographer or content creator, whatever the hell you call them nowadays. So I'm gonna go in and eat some breakfast or some lunch. I'm gonna take a shower and probably take a nap, because I'm living the bachelor life right now. But yeah, if you want to book a trip, give me a call. But I'll see you guys on the next one. Tight lines, be safe out there, and I'll see you later.